Hey everyone, my name is Brittany and welcome to my channel where I talk about photography stuff. Today is all about camera bags, specifically the Peak Design 10 liter and 6 liter Everyday Sling bags. Before I get into all the things, I got a disclaimer that I purchased these bags with my own money. Peak Design has no idea who I am or that I am doing this review. Spoiler alert, I love these bags so much that I just really wanted to talk about how great they are. Now, allow me to tell you the tale of the girl who was always too picky yet also too cheap to get a real versatile on-the-body camera bag. So she settled for years with a bag that her camera fell out of multiple times. That is just a working title, and I am totally open to suggestions. I've had my business for almost 11 years now, and I used to have an issue where I didn't like spending money on nice things that weren't cameras, lenses, or lighting. Bags of any style used to feel like such a needless expense to me, which I mainly blame that line of thinking on the fact that I could never find the right style of bag for myself. Seriously, searching for shoulder camera bags on Google would give me distressed leather bags, boxy looking bags, or bags that look more decorative than functional. And if I tried camera bags women, I'd get a lot of purse looking bags, which are all beautiful, but just not what I was looking for. So the bag I subjected myself and my husband, who photographs with me, to using for an embarrassing amount of years were these small laptop bags. Yep, not even real camera bags. And it shows in how unstable and lacking in necessary storage they are. I mean, look at this thing filled. Believe it or believe it, I have dropped my camera out of this bag a couple of times. Luckily, each time it fell onto the grass and not sidewalk or into a body of water, but I was constantly living on the edge with this thing, and it was not a fun edge to live on. I very likely could have had a very expensive mistake on my hands just because I never invested in real camera bags for us. Anyway, after upgrading my big camera storage casing to something way more convenient and with wheels, story for a different time, I decided I also needed to upgrade our smaller shoulder bags that we wear for 90% of wedding days. And I remembered the brand Peak Design after they released a YouTube video calling out Amazon for ripping off their designs. They taught me a couple of lessons with that video. One was to not shop so frequently at Amazon, and two, that it was possible to find bags in a style that were sleek, close to the body, and could house all of our necessary in-the-moment equipment. Now, the first thing I want to touch on with these bags is the cost. After looking at some similar size bags from a handful of various big-name bag creators, Peak Design's 10 liter sling bag falls right in the middle as far as cost is concerned, at $149.99. The everyday sling bags in general range from $80 to $150, and Peak Design also has a bunch of other types of bags, so if the sling style isn't for you, you have some other options to check out. Really, the right or wrong cost of something is going to come down to personal preference. I did stop and consider the cost of these bags when I first looked at them, and the things that convinced me to purchase were the ethics of the brand, the video demos that they have of most of their products, and the quality assurance that they give. They offer a lifetime warranty and will repair any broken bits that happen in order to keep their products from contributing to overflowing landfills. Their ethics are really great, and I can't do it justice just by talking about it, so I hope you'll check out their site for the full rundown. Anyway, when taking all of that in consideration, the price averaged out to be just right for me. I picked up the 10 liter bag for myself and the 6 liter bag for my husband, and when the delivery came in, I was so incredibly stoked to get my hands on these bags and start using them immediately. I knew right off the bat that once I got a season of usage out of these bags that I'd want to fully review them. So let's get right to it. First impressions. My first impression when getting these bags in was, wow, these look really cool and they feel pretty interesting. The sleek design is everything I always hoped for, and the feel of the bag is a little rougher than the silky leathers that are popular, and this is probably due to the fact that the bag material is a poly-coated nylon canvas. That means little to nothing to me, but I figured I'd toss it in just in case someone watching is a materials fan. Also, for the ASMRers out there, listen to this texture. Ow. Stay. Cool. What I do know is that this material is weatherproof, which is true for most, if not all, Peak Design bags. The material makes the exterior feel like a hard but also soft shell, and the shape that it's formed into is really perfect for that close body look that is common with sling bags. I was a little worried before I ordered the 10-liter bag, which was going to be my main shoulder bag, that it would be really big on me and that I'd accidentally smack into guests as I tried to maneuver around during a reception. But when it came in, I realized that because it's a sling, it isn't bulky, and I've actually used it more than a few times as a battering ram to get through walls of guests during cocktail hours. So now I guess I purposely bag smack guests. Just kidding. The front pocket is hidden, super padded, and zippered, so I don't have to worry about stuffing this section and having any clasps burst open or Velcro pulling apart, or it even looking extremely bulky. I'm not entirely sure how the bag always holds its shape and doesn't get lumps and bumps from the stuff I put in this front pocket, but hey, I'm not gonna question it. Also, I really love the straps. They aren't lined with a million clips and clasps that could get stuck in my hair. The adjustment clip is incredibly easy to use and feels super strong and looks modern. The design of these bags even include this cute little pocket to tuck the excess strap fabric into, so that it's not constantly dangling in the way. The shoulder pad is also really, really nice. It's thickly padded and feels durable. The interior of the 10-liter bag is deep. So is the 6-liter, but it's obviously not as spacious as my 10-liter, and the clever design of the dividers with both the 10-liter and 6-liter allows you to pop half of the divider down so you can safely stack equipment if you want to do that. There is a tablet sleeve, but I don't have a tablet, so I just use this section on the 10-liter bag for my wedding day timeline and group lists. My husband, who uses 6-liter, puts the deceased body of an Amazon Kindle in this section that we use for artsy reflections. And finally, my initial impression of the interior pocket. When I was looking at all of the Peak Design bag options online, I was a little concerned over the sizing of this interior zipper pocket. I kept thinking that I had more stuff in my with me all day bag than what I actually have. So when I got the bags in and loaded them all up, I was really pleasantly surprised at how flexible and great the sizing of this section is. The fabric stretches, it's nice and thin, easy to open, and for us, it holds a lot of our specialty equipment. We have our prisms, chandelier rings, copper pipes, optical lens, all the fun stuff in this part. Getting these bags in and transitioning all of our little items that permanently stay in our with us all day bags was super exciting to me. Everything had a place, and the bags are just so incredibly professional looking. They feel safe, they feel solid, and that is what I really am happy with. I was very much looking forward to really testing them out during a full wedding day, and for the most part, these bags are absolutely what I was dreaming of. Putting the bags to use, yeah. Before I jump into what it was like putting these bags to use, I have to give a little background information that may not matter to most, but I think sets the stage. When we arrive at getting ready spots for our wedding couples, we always have our large and in charge wheelie carrying case that stores our cameras, lenses, backups, and batteries that we then unpack into our with us all day bags. The key equipment that I always have in my with us all day bag is my 85mm, my 20mm, and my flash. Usually on my camera I have my 50, and that rotates position with the 85 and 20 depending on the shot. My old bag with all of that equipment would look something like this. The 10-liter bag housed all of my stuff and looked something like this. For that first wedding with the bags, I had a feeling that they would get disorganized during the hustle and bustle of the wedding day. But thanks to the bag dividers, that was not an issue whatsoever. Did I at points have a lens stacked on top of another lens? Yes, totally. But thanks to the easy to flip down dividers, there was some protection in between the lenses, so they weren't scratching together or bumping around unprotected. On the topic of lenses, I shoot with primes, so I'm constantly changing which lens I'm shooting with. I know a lot of photographers shoot with 2 cameras using a holster, but that has never worked for me. What I noticed as soon as I had my lenses in my 10-liter bag was that I'd be able to safely leave my shoulder bag unzipped so I could easily have access to my equipment throughout the day. It really makes the swapping a lot smoother and I think quicker. The most beautiful thing about using these bags to me is the ability to zip them up. No, I am not always that easy to please, but I guess since I was constantly worrying with my old bag about setting it down for things like eating our vendor meal and having my equipment topple out for fellow vendors to loudly blink at, having a bag that zippers closed is a dream come true. There is now zero concern for me that I'm going to be wasting 5 minutes of my mealtime on just figuring out how to put my stuff down at dinner. Now, let's talk about the straps in action, because while my initial impression while just looking at the straps was super happy, in the field, this is an area of the bags that does annoy me a little. So I know from having these sorts of adjustable straps on pretty much every bag and harness ever that these will shift over time and will loosen, and that definitely happens with these bags. But I feel like these bag straps are affected by gravity quite a bit more throughout a standard day than what I expected. I'll start with it fairly high up, right above my hip, and by ceremony time, it's dropped by an inch or 2. Which may be because I'm constantly pulling lenses out and putting them in with a high amount of weight being put on the shoulder strap. I'm not totally sure, but it just seems like it shifts much quicker than it should. I can slow the loosening by putting one of my clamps above the clip, but this is not ideal at all since now I have a clamp poking me and getting stuck on things. Look, I am fully aware that straps shift and move, so I understand that it will not be consistent whatsoever. I just wasn't expecting it to adjust so much on its own. Another major problem I ran into with the strap didn't happen during a wedding. It happened at some point at home when I was preparing to shoot some B-roll of the 6-liter bag's most exciting feature, being able to turn it from a shoulder bag into a fanny pack. Somewhere between my office and the spare room where the bag lives, the metal clip to hold the 6-liter strap together fell off. Now, this is a very important piece of the bag because, like I said, this clip secures the 2 pieces of strap together. Without this piece, the shoulder strap is at risk of easily coming apart. At the time of me discovering the metal clip was gone, we were days out from a wedding. So I had to do what any just okay crafter does and frankenweenie it with a paper clip while I waited for my warranty claim from Peak Design. Peak Design did get back to me in 4 days to confirm that the only issue I was having was with the strap, and after I confirmed, they sent out a replacement strap soon after. When I got the strap in, it was super easy to replace on the bag. And while I do now have a paperclip monster of strap just sitting around, I know Peak Design's process for recycling, and when I get the chance, I will be reaching out to them to recycle the broken strap. Do I wish that this problem never came up? Yeah, definitely. I'm sure Peak Design feels the same way. But issues do happen, and because of their handling of my issue, it helped me appreciate their staff and ability to efficiently correct any product problems that may happen. Anyway, strap trouble aside, the fact that the 6-liter bag can turn into a fanny pack is absolutely amazing. I have a lot of issues with my shoulder, mainly from years of poor bag and shoe choices, go figure. So having the ability to switch from a shoulder bag to a bag that goes around the hips is a pain saver during long receptions. Not to mention, it also allows me to stay prepared for anything that may arise. Prior to having these bags during receptions, I'd 99% of the time have to drop my bag off to save my shoulder from deeper pain. opting instead to just have my camera and one lens. Now, with the ability to convert the 6-liter to a fanny pack, I can have my spare camera battery, flash batteries, as well as an extra lens attached to my hip. It's a great mind soother as well as a physical soother. I will say that the fanny pack isn't for everyone. My husband tried it out and just wasn't a fan, which is why when it's reception time, we swap bags so I can fanny it up. So the first full day wedding that we used these bags during was a July wedding in Maryland. For those unfamiliar, hot, 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 and humid. Any East Coaster can tell you that the summer months are some of the grossest. It's sticky, it's hot, anything you wear gets soaked through with sweat pretty much immediately. Putting these bags to use in the hot and humid climate was not something that I was necessarily thinking about when initially purchasing, because who would? But I have to say that in practice, when the neck strap does get moisture on it, 1, it's not super obvious, 2, it doesn't irritate the skin by rubbing awkwardly, which for my sensitive skin is a big ol' bonus, and 3, when the padded strap area is wet, it gets a little chilly at certain points, so you get a slightly improvised cold pack for your shoulder. It's like a nice chilly sweat kiss for you. The last thing I'll touch on with my in the field review is the super nice exterior when dealing with silly mistakes. Day 1 with these bags, I spilled gravy right on it, which I actually also did with my older bag too. I just love sauce and gravy. But where my other bag was completely stained, even after washing, my Peak Design bag cleaned right up and only left a very small splotch that I probably did not clean effectively in the few minutes I had in a dimly lit wedding venue bathroom. That may not be a feature that people are looking for in their camera bag, but hey, if you're clumsy and you drop food on yourself often, it's nice to know of an easy to care for bag. In summary of my action-packed usage, I felt fantastic with this purchase at the end of the first wedding, and at the end of the photo season, even with the 6-liter clip breakage, I still feel fantastic with this purchase. We've used these bags for about 8 months now, and they have been through a lot with us already. These bags have honestly freed up the spot in my brain that I previously used to use in order to stress over my equipment being housed effectively, and made it so that I can stress over something totally different now. Yes, I do have a slight issue with the strap, but I'm going to be looking into a less bulky way to fix that issue via Peak Design's customer support. To wrap it all up for you, am I the best compass for the bag to get yourself? No. Remember the beginning of this video when I shared that I was so cheap and picky that I was using an unstable laptop bag instead of a real camera bag for 10 years? Yeah, I'm not the guiding light of bags. I'm also not the person that's going to tell you that you need to get these bags. However, I will say that if you are having the same hang-ups that I was, maybe check out a Peak Design bag. The pricing and sizing is on par with most mid to high-end branded camera bag makers. It's comfortable, it puts its safety for your equipment first, and best of all, the Peak Design company cares about what they are producing and putting into the world. While you could find a similar look elsewhere, the crew at Peak Design are constantly innovating on their designs and keeping their customers, as well as the globe, at the forefront of their minds. Something I found personally cool is that with every purchase, they let you know how much carbon emissions are being offset with your purchase. If you're going back and forth with yourself on whether you should invest in a new and better bag, all I'll say is this. If you're worrying about the security of your gear, don't allow that stress of potential accidents to continue eating you up. Get a better bag. I think that about covers everything I wanted to touch on about the Peak Design Everyday Sling 10-liter and 6-liter bags. If you are the proud or not so proud owner of a Peak Design bag, tell me about your experience in the comments. Or alternatively, tell me what your camera bag evolution has looked like over the years. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel for more photography-related chats and reviews, and doing all of the other glorious thumbs up and button pushing things. See you in the next one.